ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Jackrabbit Illustrated podcast. We're the A-Team. I'm Dallas, here with Matt and Chad. We're going to open up a little bit different today. So as fans, we've been through some stuff in the last couple weeks, certainly the last 30 hours. It's been rough, guys. So if you've been on social media, if you've talked to other fans, there's a lot of feelings. There's a lot of stuff going on. And Jackrabbit Illustrated, we know it's important to get feelings out and to talk about them. So that's how we're going to start here, because we want to get this past us. We want to get through it, and we need to move on. So that's what we're going to do. If you're watching live, feel free to chime in the comments. We need to get this out. We can move on, flush it out of our systems, and be done. So here we go. I feel confused that just 2 weeks ago, I thought we had a chance to get College Game Day, and we were in the Final Three, and I knew that USD was a terrible, terrible team headed to the bottom of the Missouri Valley, and now I don't know what to think. That's how I feel. Chad?
I feel confused as well, because our kicker had one of his best games, and I thought he was a weak point, but then we didn't super utilize him, and we could have had more points on the board. And we could have at least looked better. That's how I feel.
I feel that we completely wasted a beautiful pass from Max Pelham. That's how I feel.
I feel kind of frustrated at some of our fans, because I feel like some people have heard what this winter was like and what the program went through. And I don't know. I feel frustrated at people, even though it's unacceptable. The loss is not acceptable. That frustrates me. Frustrates me. That's how I feel.
I feel like I was upset that we had dropped to below Montana State last week. And now I feel like we shouldn't even be a top 25 team. That's how I feel.
I feel confused that we gave up 100 yards passing on 3 plays, and just 3 plays, but only 188 total for the entire game. That's how I feel.
Dallas is crying.
I am. Personally, guys, I feel like I hate sports right now. In the last 2 weeks, my daughter's hockey team has lost 4 games by a total of 42-6. My son ended his football season losing in the semis, and the Jacks have dropped 2 games, and I just can't take it anymore. I think I'm going to have him go out for one act play, because I can't take this emotional abuse anymore. That's how I feel.
I feel like I was just coming to acceptance with a swing pass being a good play, and then this game happened, and that's how I feel.
I feel relieved that I didn't book my hotel in Nashville yet. That's how I feel.
All right. So everybody, all 3 of us, take a deep breath in. Let it out. We good? All right. Kill the music. We good?
All
right. All right. Hey, let's move on. Put that behind us like the team is going to do and go kick the shit out of the Yotes. Matt, who's our sponsor?
Our title sponsor is the Kubota Dealers of South Dakota. Thank you, Kubota Dealers. I am ready for winter. I've talked about that a little bit. Good to go there. But yes, if you need something to help you with your lawn, acreage, farm, business, whatever it may be, stop by one of the Kubota Dealers of South Dakota, and they will get you the piece of equipment that is right for your needs. So thank you again for your sponsorship. Also, we got to talk about Hadrick Ranch. Hadrick Ranch, we know, delivers the best beef around. It's absolutely delicious. They will ship it to you, or Troy may meet up with you and deliver it somewhere. So hadrickranch.com to fill your freezer with the best beef that you can get. So thank you, Hadrick Ranch. All right, everyone, good job. Way to get these I feels in the comments. So
yep.
Dallas, thank you for that idea for the start. That was
no problem.
Wonderful.
Yep, let's address it, be done with it, and move on like a bunch of mature adults.
Yeah.
And again, kick the shit out of the Oats. Let's go.
So,
Yeah.
let's fill an hour talking about how we beat USD then.
I'm good either way.
Oh man, I don't honestly. Don't let the Bison beat you twice. I know McKnight said that last week. I don't feel like that was the case. I don't like.
I mean, unless we're talking injuries.
Yeah, unless we're talking injuries, that's the only thing. Like Indiana State, I mean, they showed up. They wanted this game. You could see how happy they were in the social media, in the videos they posted. They hung on. They made the plays. We did not. The kickoff return obviously was a huge way to start the game for them, and we knew that guy was a player. So that's the tough part. Like we knew that we couldn't let him beat us, and he did. We knew that we couldn't let Osho beat us, and Osho we held in check before he was injured. So yeah, not a good day in Brookings. Chad, you were there. What was it like in the stadium?
Oh, it was a lot like the music that we started the show with after about the second quarter. It was okay up until the second half. We had pretty good energy. They brought some of the middle schools up from Sioux Falls, and they were in the family section next to us, and they were cheering loud. It was all right. Would have liked to get them some more points, a little better of a showing there. I don't know. We had pretty good energy, but I was negative early on. I'm pretty sure Brennan could tell you, because I just felt like we were spinning our wheels. I think you mentioned that, or somebody else mentioned that somewhere. We just kept kept spinning our wheels. We made good progress, and then something would happen, and we'd step on our dicks. That's what it felt like the whole goddamn game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On offense, sorry. To be clear, the defense had a pretty good game. They gave up some big plays that really were tough too. But the offense does a little better. That takes some pressure off the defense. It just feels like every time you turn, if we do this a little better, then it'd take pressure off that. It's just this cascading of issues, like we see in engineering where things just cascade into a giant problem. And that's this game in a nutshell.
It is. It's just bizarre, and I think it's worth touching on stats for anybody. I'm assuming most people that are listening to this have seen the just absurd stats, which I closed the tab, son of a gun, 400. Matt, you got the offensive yards in front of you by chance, or do you have them memorized? It was like 440.
It was, yep. Much like that. Yes.
Yeah, very close to. So, I mean, outgained. First downs were the most lopsided I've ever seen. Like, again, you look at certain parts of that stat line and it's like they're like you would have thought Jackrabbits won by 3 scores. And the fact that 11 of 12 drives ended up in their territory, like it's all of those things. So, and I'm not going to try to put lipstick on this pig at all. But there are things where it's like, okay, it wasn't like nothing happened and the offense went 3 and out all day. Yep. It was just the sequence of how everything occurred. And one of the other I feels that I was gonna come up with was also feeling a little bit frustrated at play calling negativity. And I know that you guys have shared your opinions on that too, where, man, okay, sure, but I don't know when we're going to talk about injuries, but I don't care what team you take. If you have wide quarterback 1, wide receiver 1, running back 1, and best or second best offensive lineman.
The end.
Yeah. I was just starting with the offense.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. But I mean, guys, that is so much, and I'm not excusing it. Again, like, sorry, Indiana State, if there's any fans watching this to gloat, but that still shouldn't happen. Look at, I think it was Zimmer just called it out like it is. Like, hey, you look at the resources and everything else. Like, there is no excuse that shouldn't happen. Now, because there's 2 pieces of this. There's the actual loss, which is unforgivable, and then there's some of the frustrations that some people have had, and just in how clunky things have looked at times. And that conversation we can have, and that to me is a reflection of those injuries for the most part, or at least a lot of it. Because I'm sorry, if you take North Dakota State, and I'm sorry if Cole Payton gets hurt, if Bryce Lance gets hurt, who's running back number 3? Come on.
Quarterback, you mean?
Nope. Running back number 3. What's his name? Anyway, whatever. Their top running back. If those guys go out and their offensive linemen, like, they're going to look clunky too. Now, they're not losing to Indiana State at home. I'm not suggesting that because they wouldn't, but like, it's still, there's a reason. Like, this is the worst injury bug I have ever seen. It's bad.
Yeah. Getting lots of questions, again, play calling and stuff. I mean, you can go through the Twitter timeline for me for the game and just repeatedly calling for more Basinger, more Josiah Johnson. Like, it just, I don't understand. Like, there was a question up there earlier, like, is this play calling? Is it execution? It's a little of both, guys. It is a little of both. Like, Eidsness didn't have, the center stepping on Marble's foot. Like, he didn't do that, right? And that's something that kills a play. I said this earlier today to someone, if Luke Marble was hurt going into this game, which we heard in the post-game press conference, there's no way Eidsness tells Marble to keep the ball on all of those RPOs that he did. Like, Marble has to have a little more wherewithal as well, just to hand off the ball, instead of just repeatedly getting the snot kicked out of him on those run plays. I don't know. It was a super frustrating game to watch, on this perspective. I don't know. That's from my perspective, just because every time it felt like we'd get something going, we'd just die. Like, I don't know. We were, as Chad said, we'd step on our dick. Like, so yeah.
It is. Hold on. We call out Kyle's in here and called out the stat line of 11 TFLs and 5 sacks. Like, you can't succeed no matter what you do. That's as bad as I've ever heard.
So I saw 2 things on my rewatch. It seems like the guys are, I don't know if our splits are too wide on the O-line or what, but the guys are just cutting right between our guys when they go to block.
Yep.
And how are we getting brought down from behind so much? Are we screwing around so long in the backfield? Do the plays take that long to develop? When the guys pull, it doesn't seem like they're, it looks like they're pausing to hit somebody when they get back to the line on the front side, and that causes the running back to slow down, and then the backside linebacker is tackling them from behind. It's so frustrating to watch. I don't like, because like nothing seems to get going.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's and the thing is, I think I wrote this in Rants and Raves too. Like, that opening drive of ours, Indiana State knew exactly what we were going to run. And that's part of it, Chad. Like, we are so predictable in our game script. And that opening game script, I think it was the same first 2 plays that we tried to run against NDSU almost. It just, like, we have to switch things up. And Marble throws a beautiful deep ball. I would love to come out against USD and let him just throw a bomb, just to start the game with a bomb. Like, because he throws a nice deep ball. And if everyone's coming up and just knowing that we are going to run some sort of dive, that's, I don't know. I don't know. We got to figure out something, because Indiana State knew exactly what was coming at them. There should have been 3 interceptions before they actually intercepted a ball. That first run play to Juice, the D end had zero respect that Marble was going to keep it, and totally teed off on Juice there. And that's why there's just no way. Like, it just is all a mess. The offense is a mess right now. I don't know. Ugh.
So what, I mean, if that's you, like, what do you think is going on right now in the Stig Center? Like, what are the conversations? How do you correct that? Because the players on the field are who they are. We don't know who's getting healthy when. I mean, clearly they're having these discussions. Is it, I don't know. I mean, is it a back to basics kind of a focus?
Yeah.
because it's two separate things, right? We're talking about execution, which typically means back to basics, but then we're saying that the offense is vanilla and predictable, which means you need to complicate things, for lack of a better way to say it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And maybe we're not doing the basics well. The tight ends, Corey, you're right, Corey. I was so mad when we did have that end around that worked with Bullock, and that should have been a huge gain. And Gannon totally whiffed on his block.
Yep.
Whiffed on his block later in the game too, with I think it was something to Basinger, a swing pass to Basinger on the right side. It just can't be. It can't.
There's been a lot
happen.
of that this year.
Yeah,
the whiffed blocks. It's been just
that's completely accurate. As I was wandering around a store here this afternoon, I was actually thinking about our tight end play, which is so lame. But there was a lot of comments and a lot of chatter on all social media about getting tight ends involved. And to that, I would say, all right, we know that we have some great athletes in the tight end room. Like we know that we've got size, but if these guys were ready to go, we'd be chucking the ball at him 10 times a game and running behind him every play. Like they just coaches know that. And for whatever reason, they're just not quite ready yet. I have no idea what it is. I have complete faith that they can and will be, but I don't think that they're there. It's not that like the coaching staff didn't forget about the position. That's not the issue.
Yep.
The other thing that I think I've seen, I think with injuries, it's part of this, obviously, but it feels like as a whole, the offense has regressed almost every single game. Maybe not 1-2, but after 2, we've just kind of went backwards. I mean, we weren't able to do a lot against Montana State, but some of that is how good they are, right? But like at least we look good. And they just made plays. That's not what this has been. It hasn't been the other team. Well, I mean, the other teams looked good, but they look good because we haven't been executing worth a damn.
Mm-hmm. A couple things, right? We mentioned depth. I've mentioned depth. Someone mentioned Gaskins up there earlier and going off on Jacks fans, whatever. But I think it's
trying to get people convinced to talk about Jimmy.
Yeah. And I don't care. It's like, but it's undeniable that this team lacks depth, like quality depth, like we're used to. And part of that is losing a huge senior class. We knew that was going to happen, right? Those guys were out the door. We knew that was going to happen. But then losing the guys behind them, right? Like we lost 4 safeties that could have been playing here this year. One of them, a young guy, Trey Ridley. Trey Ridley would absolutely make a difference on this team right now. Cornerback, we didn't necessarily lose anyone besides the one corner that went to Washington State, but all of our recruits were super highly ranked at corner. Big time players. They would likely be playing this year at corner. Tight end, we lost Stoffel to Illinois. He's sitting on the bench, rotting away in Illinois. And then Bo Baker, who I think got hurt again at Washington State. Those are 2 tight ends that both block, both receive. Like we wouldn't have to be doing this crazy subbing in and out with stuff. Running back, we have Maxwell Woods rotting on the bench in Washington State. He would be our starting running back right now if he had stayed. So like some of these things, like we can say I'm not necessarily mad at any of it, but shoot, like there's our depth. That's why our special teams gave up a kick return. That's probably why our punt return has struggled to get going this year. That's why we've had punts blocked. Like that's where you see the lack of depth and the youth coming out is on special teams. And now these injuries are snowballing and you're taking away the starters. So you're moving up some of those special teams guys into starting roles or more minutes. And then you're moving fresh new guys into special teams roles. Like that's where we see this depth and this huge roster loss that we experienced, like taking shape, manifesting now. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, spot on. Well said. I still, as a fan base, I don't want to sit and just get hung up on that. Like it's all factual. Like that is what happened, and that is where we are.
Yep.
Now things can go one of 2 ways as far as this season goes. Guys can start to get healthy, and some other guys can get some reps and get it together in time for the playoffs, which I think is completely possible still, and in fact very likely. but I don't think sitting and whining about it, and I'm not saying that you are, Matt, but I've seen enough of it that pouting about that isn't going to help, right? Like it's, to me, we got to get to a point of, all right, let's support the guys that we have because they are here. I'm not going to sit and wish Jimmy any ill will or anybody else, whatever it is, and let's just move on. And I have complete faith in Dan's ability to build a roster and to recruit. It's just going to take, that's going to take a year. And that doesn't say that this year's a throwaway by any means. This is still a very talented team. But I don't know. I want to make sure that anybody listening knows that it doesn't do any good to sit and whine about that. Like that is college football. That happens. We're going to see it all over the place every year. That's just normal.
I mean, it's like anytime we play these teams that have all these stud transfers come together, Sac State, Missouri State back in the day, we're going to be the number 5. It's hard for that to gel. And I think that's maybe a touch of this too. We're just still trying to gel, maybe even on the offensive line. And one other thing I want just people to keep in the back of their minds, we don't know how many guys are beat up and playing, slightly injured. Because like Matt said, we had heard, afterwards that potentially Marble was dealing with a little bit of something going into the game. So, if he was hurt and he played that well hurt, maybe we got to cut the guy a little bit of slack,
Yeah, 100%.
It sucks, but I mean, look at what happened with the Vikings and that other schlub from that other program up north. I mean, dude gutted it out for 2 games. Give the guy some credit. I
respect him so much.
You're gonna throw a couple interceptions, maybe you wouldn't normally because you don't want to get effing hurt.
Yeah.
Yep. So what Seth is saying here, Dan can definitely recruit. It will take time to develop that depth again. 100%. I believe that. Have faith in Dan. I'm not worried about that at all. So, yeah.
No, and that's why, again, that we started the show the way that we did was, all right, let's just get it out. People say a lot of stuff in the middle of games and get frustrated. And what's cool about it? People freaking care. Like, and again, not to be Pollyanna about it, but we have a lot of people listening live right now, like probably slightly more than average, and probably the most comments we've ever had already during the show. I mean, I don't know how many, they didn't give us count, but I mean, people care about this team and what's going on, and we're in for a little bit of a ride, and I don't know, all we can do is let's break down what happened, and again, get ready to go down south and play what I thought was going to be an automatic beatdown and is going to be a dogfight. So let's go.
All right. So are we moving on?
I don't know. It's up to you.
All right.
I'm game with whatever.
I think we probably got some stats you want to get to, don't you?
Not really.
I'm over it.
We do got to say...
It's bizarre. I don't know. I threw out the ones I wanted. It was the yards, the first downs, and the number of times that we were in Indiana State territory. And Chad, I'm glad at the beginning that you called out those field goals and not Stainer.
Stater. Yeah.
Oh, we have 2 standards?
Stater.
Stater. All right. So I said Stainerd, which is a safety. Stater. Thank you. Anyway, calling out that Stater had a breakout game, and the fact that we couldn't celebrate it and be happy for him because good job. That was awesome.
Yeah. I thought Logan Green had a nice day on the interior. I thought he played well overall. Just a big force, getting some pass rush. I thought, the comments from oh my goodness, the Tyler's color guy, Curtis Riggs. I thought Riggs' comments were interesting on the broadcast that, he doesn't like Kobe at defensive end. And it's just where we're at right now with the team. And Kobe, I think, does good enough at that. We have some more defensive tackle help. So I just thought that was an interesting comment. I thought Joel Oman played a really nice game. I thought he was all over the field. That's actually who I gave my defensive game ball to. He was intense. The post-game press conference, I thought he had a a good perspective and appropriate amount of seriousness to him in that moment. So I really like what Joe Ullman's doing this year. He maybe doesn't have the flash of the other two, CVT and MC Shane, but he is solid. He is definitely solid. So like what he's putting out there.
I really liked what I saw out of number 34, Josiah Johnson. Oh man, his blitz pickup down on our end of the field, you could hear it, and we got a first down on that. And if he doesn't pick that up, Marble's probably out for the game.
You know what?
It was an amazing pickup. That was
He
had a couple of them. That was the better one.
Yeah. I had to listen to the game live, and they called that one out on the radio. So that you're 100% right.
Yeah, Chad, you're still tight with Kibby. You're gonna have to mention to her, Josiah on the team.
Yeah, there you go.
Like NIL opportunity there. So
yeah, Josiah's coffee. He can just drink some coffee, and there you go. I mean, I think he provides a real spark too. He seems to have a running style that fits whatever we're doing play wise when he's in, and with the O-line blocking scheme, tight end blocking scheme. He seems to. Well, I mean, there was one time where it looked like we were literally getting nowhere, and he got 4 yards. And I was like, okay, well, that's what we need. We had that once with, you think, Jack Henry, and once with Luke Marble too. So the guys made some good plays. It's just there was too few of them. We didn't have the explosive plays. I know that Alex is going to want to talk about that, but that has been a big thing this year too.
Yep.
He's been talking about a lot in our group chat. We're missing those explosive plays. We had a couple deep passes, but only a couple, know.
And I just want to shout out those two freshmen, just Josiah and James Basinger. 132 combined yards on 28 attempts, 4.71 yards per carry. That's good production from freshman backs, guys. And these two are both walk-ons. Dan mentioned that in his post-game press conference too. I didn't know if Basinger still was or not because he was part of that original recruiting class that signed in December. But he's still a walk-on too, according to Dan. So that is just incredible. And really happy with their development. Corey Blair should be back here pretty soon. So that's just, 3 very, very talented freshmen.
If you listen to Coach Jackson's show, he talked about how he didn't even say if. He said next year he will have the best running back room in the country. And I've never heard any. He's a confident man if you've ever met him, but I've never heard anybody say something with that much confidence. Like, he didn't flinch. He just flat out, he threw it out casually. He just meant it. That with that freshman class, as good as they are, the fact that everybody brings something different to the table, the fact that they've got the senior leadership that they have right now in the room, just flat out, he said best running back room in the country next year. Real quick, Kyle's thrown out with splitting hairs, had a couple of comments, but hold on, where's the one? Oh, he wanted to shout out Pelham for the fake punt pass. Yes, that normally would get a lot more discussion had we not had everything else to talk about. So that's a good call and worth shouting out. He's having a hell of a year.
Yeah. Again, that was something that it was amazing, and then we stepped on our dick.
I see a developing theme here today.
Yes.
Oh.
All right. Got to thank Cubbies.
Sorry, I'll quit.
No, Cubbies for our game ball sponsors. Thank you, Cubbies. Sounds like a bunch of people were there for the game day burger. Heard they loved it. Delicious. I love getting feedback from our listeners, and it's just super fun that it's two of our sponsors that collaborated on that. So if you would like to try the game day burger, stop down to Cubbies Sports Bar and Grill in downtown Brookings. So thank you for being a sponsor again.
Dude, and if I can chime in there too quick, if anybody on social media has seen the GoFundMe floating around for Cubbies general manager Jeremy Deutsch, who is going through some horrible medical issues, please donate to that. Help him out. He's just he's hit the point. I delivered pizza with him in college. Just a wonderful human being. And if you see that, he's kind of just become a pillar in the community, is always a friendly face at Cubbies. So please donate to that for Jeremy and his kids. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thanks, Dallas, for bringing that up again. All right, so offensively, I went with the freshman running backs. I thought that was the bright spot. Alex Bullock's touchdown reception was pretty awesome too. Nice ball by Marble on that one. Defensively, I went with Ullman. Mentioned that already. Looked great. And on special teams, I went with Stater for his field goals. I thought we maybe should have tried a couple in the second half too, in my opinion. But hindsight's 2020. Any thoughts? No?
I mean, I agree with that pretty much wholeheartedly. I don't have much
Yeah, I thought
else
those were
to
good.
say. I mean,
Okay.
pretty perfect.
Thank you, Chad. Wow.
Well, I mean, Colby Claiborne had a pretty good game, and
Yeah.
so did Logan Green. But
Yep. Cool. All right. Before we dive into USD, Dallas, you want to tell us about Renegade Regeneration?
Sure. Running a sale right now on Hydrate Renegade Regeneration. So if you go to renegaderegeneration.com, got it on sale for only $19.99 right now. Was a Halloween sale. I did not take it down over the weekend, so I'll keep it up for a couple more days. Go to renegaderegeneration.com. Also, as I post things on social media, I would love to hear what people think the next couple of products should be, because basically getting done with football season now, I've got more time to focus on it, and I would like to launch a couple more. So curious what you think. But yeah, go to renegaderegeneration.com. Hydrate's on sale probably for 2-3 more days, something like that, whenever I decide to take it down.
All right. Thanks, Dallas.
Thanks, Matt.
Excellent. Chad, tell us everything we need to know about USD.
they're better than we thought they were a week ago. I don't know what to say. Like, football is off this week, man.
I don't understand.
The Packers played like shit against a shitty team. Oh, I am dropping lots of curses.
Yeah, what is
Hey,
this?
today's the day
divorce?
for it.
I know. I'm usually the one that does it. In person, I'm a little different, but usually on here, I'm pretty good about that. Tucker Kraft got hurt. It's horrible. I don't know what to think of USD. Maybe they finally put it together. I mean, they looked more like the team yesterday that we thought they were going to be all season. I don't know. And it could just be UND looking forward or looking ahead. That's totally possible. We know UND traditionally plays poorly on the road, although this year it seems like they had gotten past that. This could just be their trap game. But I mean, they just outplayed them. I know that as much as I hate losing to NDSU, I absolutely do not ever want to lose to USD. So if we could please figure out some of the issues and beat them by at least 1 point, I'd be happy with that. Their quarterback's good. We need to get more pressure on the quarterback. They got a really good running back. We seem to have done well with that. I mean, I don't think we need to worry about Aiden Bauman being a running threat. He hasn't really shown to run at all. He's probably right up there with one of the greatest, quarterbacks of all time with his capability running, Peyton Manning. And, so, I mean, he could outrun me, obviously. That's not saying a lot.
I was wondering where you were going with this.
But so that's one thing that we can maybe not have to worry about as much, but that means our secondary is going to have to be a lot better, or we're going to have to put a lot more pressure on him to keep the pressure off the secondary. We're missing at least one of our best linebackers. We're missing one of our best edge rushers.
And Jalen Lee didn't play yesterday either.
Yeah, Jalen Lee didn't play yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was funny. I'll tell you is if we come out and play like we played yesterday, we're going to get our ass handed to us.
Mm-hmm.
Worse than we did.
Yeah. No, I don't know what to make of this. That's why I opened with that being confusing, is because I was certain that they were garbage and that UND was going to knock off either SDSU or NDSU, which at the time sounded like a bold claim because of how impressive they've looked so far this year. But yeah, it is fair. So to USD fans, I don't think at the time earlier in the season you necessarily were better than you looked, but you definitely weren't playing up to what your team wasn't playing up to what they were capable of. So it's possible now you're just playing up to what you're capable of, even though you didn't show anything up to this point. So if you figured it out now, I guess bravo. It was kind of the last second, but all right, let's see what we can do here. No, they've had just such an odd season. And to recap, and we've gone through this before, they got killed by the portal late, which nobody, in Brookings felt bad about just because there was so many people that were chirping. So at least that I saw when we went through our issues in January, there was a lot of Vermillion folks or a lot of USD folks chirping about that and not having any sympathy. So I didn't have any sympathy for them losing people in the portal. What I do hate and what I felt bad about, one, that brilliant running back getting hurt, Charles Pierre, that sucked. Like, wanted to see him play a full season, great football player. The other one that I genuinely felt bad about was Bauman, who by all accounts is a great dude and stood up for what he believed in and believed in his team and his school and was trying to rally everybody. And then a bunch of jokers bailed on him. Like that's terrible. I wish I don't want your team to win a game, but I still feel bad that happened. That sucked.
Yep.
So anyway, like, they've still got pieces, and they obviously showed it last week. So the Jackrabbits are going to have to roll into Vermillion ready to go.
Definitely. Like, this can't be a game where we start slow either, because that's going to keep that crowd in it. Like, we have to come out. We have to have a good opening drive, like a good, something different in the script. And then we have to be ready for some haymakers, because USD has been very good on offense this year on their opening drives. So we have to be ready. Like, they might throw some shots to Fenner. Who knows? We got to be ready for the physicality of Phillips, their running back. Like we have to have that chin strap buckled from the jump, because this is going to be their biggest game in the dome of the year. And this win last week is going to get their fan base even more fired up and actually show up if they had bought tickets. Wouldn't have shocked me if they'd gotten washed away by UND, that if their fans had just stayed out and tailgated like they're kind of prone to do, or just not even driven down to Vermillion that day. So you're going to have to be ready from the start on this one.
What are the chances that we start with a deep go route or a post on the first play? Have we done that yet this year? I don't recall. We didn't do it this last game. I know we didn't do it against the Bison. I would think that's something that we would have been more likely to do with Chase, but Marble, like you said, has got a pretty decent deep ball. Yeah. He's got a good connection with Bullock, and Bullock seems to catch him even when they're not necessarily in the greatest location.
That catch. That was beautiful. Yeah. We don't think we touched on that one at all. I've seen it talked about a lot on social media, but that's worth calling out too. That was great.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the same time, like we've said though, do we just want him to give it to Josiah Johnson, on a dive too, or like just come out in a play action and fake it to Josiah, and have him chuck it deep to Bullock? I don't know, something to shake it up a little bit.
Damn it, Eidsness, just pound the ball and throw it deep. That's all we want.
That's all we want.
Dumb question. I think we maybe already talked about this, but pardon me for forgetting. Did we say we know Juice might be injured? Or we don't know?
I don't know. Dan mentioned something in the post game, but
something, right? But it was not clear.
Yeah, I didn't take that he was like super banged up, but we didn't see him. I mean, he had 4 or 5 runs on that opening drive,
and that was
it. Like, it was a combination of poor execution, him not hitting the hole quick enough, poor blocking, and then just some kind of funky play calling on one of them, if I remember right. I texted our group what it was, but
Yep. Well, and he might be dinged up, like I said. Maybe they felt like he was dinged up enough that it was slowing him down and not helping, and so get him healthy. I don't know.
Injury tracker.
We've got
God, we do need an injury tracker.
It is bad. Elliot Benson says Dan said Juice needed to be checked out. So
interesting.
That means something.
Some double meaning there.
It does, man. Again,
we don't want anyone that's checked out, but
and I touched on it before. I want to call it out again. there's two different pieces to this. The loss to the Sycamores, absolutely unacceptable under any circumstances. It's not the same. Like, I'm sitting here ripping on somebody that just beat us at home by 2 scores. That shouldn't ever happen. Athletes, resources, like it just shouldn't happen. Hats off to you, Indiana State. All right. So that aside, there's all of the frustrations about just how things have looked kind of herky-jerky and clunky, and we have not executed to the level that we're used to. That I will wholeheartedly pin on injuries. And no one, like other than Kirchenman, I don't think anybody else, Begeman, right? We haven't talked about him at all, but we got 2 guys out for the season that were going to be big time contributors. Am I missing anybody else?
Well, I mean, Ogroski,
Coons hasn't really played all year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, I forgot about him. God, I feel bad for him. I really wanted him to
there's more than we think about because it happened.
Sure.
A bunch of
No, I wasn't even thinking about him because we haven't seen him all year. But sorry, Ogroski, what were you saying, Matt?
I mean, and potentially CVT,
I don't know either where either of those two are at.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we've heard multiple from different sources that they're both going to be out for, if not the season, an extended period of time.
Got it.
So,
and we don't even know if Chase is coming back. Apparently, he's feeling better. He's got his. Sorry, I drug us backwards on this deal, Dallas. I'll have to apologize for that, but we don't know how his foot's doing, and if it's to a point where it's worth risking re-aggravating it. But we kind of got to win at least 1 or 2 more games. And this next one's an unacceptable loss if, you go by strength of schedule and so forth. Well, not that the last one wasn't, but, but I mean, of the teams that are left to play, we need to beat USD. And
yeah,
if Chase is able to play, I think we play him. I guess UND probably has the higher ranking still but does that matter? I don't know. It depends on how they end up looking for the rest of the year. If we beat them and NDSU beat them, then they don't look as good. So
I forget who called it out. It might have been Taylor. Might have been Taylor Murray, but like this team is just flat out into 1-0 mentality. To go back to Stig talk, it's like it. I personally I almost don't even want to speculate on playoff scenarios, right? Like you look at it, I mean, an 8-win Valley teams get into the playoffs, period.
Right.
Like I just there's no, so it's not. So on one hand, it's like okay, you start to panic and go, oh God, are we going to make the playoffs? We go from we're winning a natty to are we going to get into the playoffs? Okay, win 1 more, you're in. Beyond that, like everything else is still, attainable and in front of this team. And we saw some weird stuff go on this week. I called and I've said several times that Tarleton was going to drop a regular season game. They did this week, so they're not invincible. You've got Montana is still undefeated. However, it looks like they can't stop a nosebleed. So if somebody can figure it out, like they've got a great offense and I don't think a defense at all from what I've noticed and I've watched a couple of their games. And even honestly, North Dakota State, I was up and watched that game, and Youngstown, they should have won, but Youngstown could have should have won that game. Brungard played amazing. And Youngstown did NDSU did the stuff that NDSU always does well, just being so damn disciplined. But Youngstown had 2 turnovers in bad positions that turned into points and gave up a kick return for a touchdown and lost by 8 points and was in position at the end. They had the ball at about midfield with a minute left. So they absolutely could have beat the Bison at home last week.
Yep.
So I just, after this, nobody's invincible. I really don't think so.
Yep.
Sorry, I'd like to clarify 2 things on my positions too. Sorry. I know that 1 win gets us into the playoffs. I'm still hoping for a top 8 seed.
Oh, same. Sorry.
The other thing is I know Coleman Coons played, and I appreciate you guys putting that in the comments. I know he played last game, but we saw such limited time out of him. It's basically like he's been out all year, and that's what I was trying to say. We basically haven't seen him.
So, and people are talking about he was in street clothes this week. He's taking a strategic red shirt,
Right.
you guys. He's
Right.
playing in the 4 games. We talked about that last week. He's playing in the 4 games.
I wasn't here last week.
Yeah, this is more to the chat. He's
Okay.
But no, what happened was
I'm learning too.
Riggs said something about him being hurt on the telecast, and I don't think it got corrected. That's why I accidentally said the wrong thing, because I just rewatched the game. And so I think that's what's confusing people. Yes, he's taking a red shirt. I'm assuming we'll be back with the Jacks next year. I don't see him going somewhere else.
Yeah. And then Chase Mason is coming back, or like he has another year, guys. Like, so he has another year.
100%.
So that's why he has another year. So there we are. What else?
What else do we need to know?
So USD, USD's defense is good too. Like,
that's what I was
like ask. That's what we need to kind of wrap our brain around also. So if this is an ugly rock fight, like that wouldn't shock me. They're giving up 25.8 points per game, which does seem like a fair amount of points actually. But 150 rushing and 201 passing. So that's not terrible. Like, that's not terrible. And with our defense or offense struggling, I mean, we made Indiana State's defense look okay, like for stretches of that game too. So we have to be ready on offense. We have to.
Yeah, and some of that I think
been a few games now, but you got to take out Iowa State scoring 55 too. Beyond that, it's been 20, 17, 21.
Yep.
And DSU scored 51, but otherwise 24, 14, 14, 21. So, I mean, they're against most offenses are probably giving up 17 to 20.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I think, we're allowing them to stack the box and bring so much pressure on pass plays, but we still seem to block pass plays a little better than runs. So I hope that plays in our favor. If we could figure out maybe how to tighten those gaps on known pass plays. We know we're going to pass. The defense already knows we're going to pass. Get your splits together more, guys. It seems pretty obvious to me that we've had guys just slipping through there. We had that one guy one time we picked up the blitz, but they brought another guy, and just having a body in the way would have made a huge difference.
Yeah, there was just no one. There was no one there on that.
There was no one there, and not Jack Henry. I'm sorry, bud.
Was it Jack Henry?
No, it was Luke Marble, and he ran backwards and got tackled for a loss of like 12. It was
All right, let's do some predictions and get out of here. All right, Chad, who are you taking on offense? Oh yeah, first off, let's get this down this time. Northwestern Mutual, thank you for your sponsoring again this year. Our prediction segment. Northwestern Mutual, if you need life insurance, retirement, college, whatever your savings goals are, they can work with you, specifically the Chris Schenkel office down in Sioux Falls. So if you need any of that, get a hold of them. Thank you, Northwestern Mutual. Chad, who are you taking on offense?
I feel that we are going to take the lead in the Alex's Lemonade Stand Challenge when I put in the money that we raised with pudding shots this week. And so we are going to beat USD one way or another this week. And I'm going to give it to Marble. I think he has a game if he can play, if he's not hurt. Otherwise, I guess I got to go. If Marble doesn't play, can I get a secondary pick? I'm going to go with Josiah Johnson.
Okay, come on now.
Okay, Alex Bullock. Fine, give me Alex Bullock. Somebody else can have Johnson. That's fine. Or we can both agree that it's Josiah.
Yeah. There we go. Dallas.
So I'm going to do what we give Chad a hard time for and pick a position group. The reason being,
give me a hard time.
We did once. is because I think the 605 Hogs are going to be pissed off. I think Coach Bang is going to be pissed off, and I think we are going to run the hell out of the football. For we talked about when you picked an H-back, how you measure it. I mean, I think we run for well over 200 yards. I think we just absolutely impose our will. I really do. I think that these guys are going to be mad, and they're going to do that. So give me the 605 Hogs. Sorry, other reason is because the I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, Jason Eck, who came up with the phrase 605 Hogs, just made the New Mexico Lobos bowl eligible for the first time in a decade. His first season there. So that's also good luck.
Dude, he's getting steam for some of these big jobs too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's
He's
pretty
gonna
cool.
be coaching at Wisconsin in a year and a half or less.
Yeah.
But I mean, the job's gonna be open after this year. It's got to be.
I think so. I think
Pickle's gone.
I agree. I think he's the obvious candidate.
I
If
think he is too.
if you're the Wisconsin AD and you're listening to this podcast, you've got other problems, but you should still pick up Jason Eck.
He's a big fan.
Oh gosh. All right.
Now, give me the O-line. We're gonna run for 1 billion yards.
Sounds good. I'm going to go with James Mace here. I think we see something explosive finally in the run game.
Yes.
So, all right, Dallas. Defensively, who are you taking?
I am going with a senior being pissed off. Give me Kobe Claiborne causing all kinds of hell.
Okay. All right. I just love how he's playing right now. I'm going to go with Joe Ullman again. He got my game ball this week, but I'm going with Ullman. Chad?
I'm gonna go with MC Shane Train. He's been a little bit more on the quiet side these last couple of games. It's time for him to break out a little bit more again. I'm not saying that he hasn't been playing well, just it seems like we haven't heard quite as much. He hasn't punched a ball. The one thing that was kind of strange this last game too, I think we've had an interception in every game, haven't we? Except for this last one. I think that was the first game we didn't have an interception all year. And
yeah,
I think so. I
think you're right. All right.
KFC, I like that. Oh my. Why did it take this long?
KFC. Oh my goodness. KFC and the Colonel. Wow. Wow. Jeepers. That's awesome.
Kobe F and Claiborne, KFC.
There we go.
Love it.
All right. I'm going to go with the score of 16-13 is my score prediction. Jacks win. Chad.
I mean, I don't know. I sure want to have confidence in this team, but if we can't come back and play with pissed offness like we think we're gonna this week, or if we didn't do that last week, what's to say we're gonna do it this week? I don't know. Give me the Jacks by 3. I don't care what the score is.
All right. Dallas
5-2. You know what? I'm going the opposite. No, I bet Iowa had that at some point. I think we exercise some demons. I think dudes are pissed. I think Dan's got them going. Give me 27-13 South Dakota State Jackrabbits.
All right. There we go. All right. Chad, cue that music again, I think, as we exit out here. Yeah.
No, I want energetic music.
All right. Just kidding. All right.
No, whatever.
There we go. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in,
this.
for grieving with us, and for all the questions, comments. It's always fun. And so with that, please like, share, subscribe. We always appreciate it and support our sponsors. So go big, go blue,
go Jack.